Welcome back, everybody, to Laying the Points with Luca Rosano. I'm your host, Luca Rosano, back with another show. And in today's show, I'm going to be making my NBA Conference Finals picks. Yes, we're down to the Final Four in the NBA as two teams will meet in the NBA Finals for a chance to win the NBA championship. It's been an incredible playoffs thus far, but something tells me the best is yet to come. So we're first going to start with the Celtics taking on the Miami Heat. Game one actually goes tonight. Series starts tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. There's also the NBA lottery draft that's going to be taking place before this game, so be sure to keep your eyes out for that. But this is going to be a fun matchup. For the second time in 3 years, these two teams will square off for a chance to make the NBA Finals. Remember, these two did battle in the NBA bubble in 2020. And of course, the Miami Heat did win that matchup, making it to the NBA Finals, where they would ultimately lose to the Lakers in 6 games. But this year, the Celtics come in as a much better team, in my opinion, than the one that faced Miami last time. I mean, this is a team that has been one of the best defensive teams in the league. Jason Tatum looks like a bona fide superstar. Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, the list goes on and on. This is a very deep Celtics team. Now, it is worth noting that Marcus Smart will be questionable for game one with a mid-foot sprain he suffered during game 7, and that Robert Williams won't have any restrictions in game one. Coach Udoka said before game 7 that Williams was available, but he didn't want to shift his rotation. So Marcus Smart potentially being out for this one is going to be a big loss for the Celtics. But then you look at Miami, they're going to be without Kyle Lowry. So that highly anticipated matchup of Smart going after Lowry, that's going to have to be put on pause. But you look at what this Celtics team has done, and I want to give them a shout out here. It's incredible. We're in the era where I think we are slowly shifting away from the super team, because so many times we've seen teams try to take the easy way out, try to put together the super team for it to fail. But now we are truly seeing what developing your players can do for you. I mean, you got the Dallas Mavericks, who have an amazing core of players led by Luca Doncic, who's a guy that they traded for at the draft. You got the Golden State Warriors. They have developed all their young talent. And then you look at this Boston Celtics team. This is a reminder that the Celtics drafted and developed all of these players. You're talking about Williams, 25 points, 9 of 20 from the field. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Pritchard, Smart. All these guys came to play in that Game 7 win against the Milwaukee Bucks, and it was pretty much a rout. So it's great to see that basketball has returned to teams now having to do it the legitimate way of drafting well, scouting well, drafting well, and developing these players well in order to become a championship contender. So it's really amazing to see what the Celtics have done. And what's even more amazing is how the Celtics have gotten here. This was a team that was being written off at the start of the new year. They were falling apart right before our very eyes. There was so much talk that the Celtics might have maybe moved Tatum and Brown away from each other, or at least that was the media chatter at the time. And to see this team just flip the switch, having one of the hottest runs since the new year, to find themselves in the spot now 4 wins away from an NBA Finals appearance. If you're a Celtics fan, you got to be extremely proud of this team. Now, it's going to be tough. They are going against the Heat team that they are no joke. Jimmy Butler has now led this team to the conference finals 2 out of the 3 past seasons. This Miami Heat team, they're deep. They have been winning with guys in and out of the lineup all season long. They're great defensively as well. They got so many weapons from off the bench. This is going to be a great series. It really is. This is going to be, I think, a much better installment than the first time these two teams met. But I am going to give the edge to the Celtics just because of their defense. The Boston Celtics, we've seen them slow some of the best offenses down. I mean, look what they did to neutralize the Nets and KD, and then look what they did to the Bucks. Yes, Giannis got his, but they were able to shut down everybody else around him. I really think this defense is going to do a number on a Miami team that has struggled to score, especially recently. I mean, remember that game they had against the Philadelphia 76ers where they couldn't hit a damn shot? I think Miami's going to have a couple of those games. I really don't trust their offense when it comes down the stretch. And then I look at the Celtics. I think they can generate a whole ton of that. And they got the guy. They got the best player in this series, and that is Jason Tatum. So when it comes down to the talent, when it comes down to the defense, even though they're not going to have home court advantage, I do like the Celtics to actually win the series and make it to the NBA Finals. So I'm going to go Celtics in 6 at minus 175. I think they find a way to get it done. I think it's going to be an amazing series, like I said, but the Celtics will find a way to neutralize the Miami Heat offense. And I think this defense is going to continue to cause havoc on their opposition. So yeah, give me the C's. It's going to be crazy to see this complete turnaround from the Celtics, but I think this is a team right now that is destined for the grandest stage, and that is competing for an NBA championship. And this group has come close. I think they're due. Back in 2018, they ran into LeBron. They're up 2-0, 2 wins away. Then LeBron did what he did. And then in 2020, had another chance to make it to the NBA Finals, and Miami beat them. This Celtics team is due, and I think they finally get there with their young guns leading the way. So that's in the East. Now let's talk about the West. We got the Warriors taking on the Dallas Mavericks. This is going to be a super fun matchup. Get your popcorn out. Stephen Curry versus Luca Doncic. You talk about an all-superstar point guard battle. And the last time the Warriors played the Mavericks in the playoffs, it was the We Believe Warriors who actually upset the Dallas Mavericks, who were a 60-plus win team. It's crazy how history kind of repeats itself, right? I mean, these two teams in the Warriors and the Mavericks are meeting again for the first time since that series. And the Mavericks kind of just did what happened to them in 2007, where an underdog upset a 60-plus win team, as the Mavericks just upset a 60-plus win Suns team. So now we're going to see how this matchup is going to go down. But you talk about the Celtics developing their young players and getting to this spot, the conference finals in 3 of the last 6 years. But you look at the Warriors, they have been on an incredible run as well with their talent. I mean, obviously they had Durant for a few of these, but this is an amazing number and an amazing stat to look at. The Warriors are really 5-0 in the Western Conference Finals in the Steve Kerr era. Going back to 2015, they won that series 4-1 against Houston. 2016, 4-3 against OKC. 2017, they swept the Spurs. 2018, they beat the Rockets 4-3. Remember, they were down 3-2 in that series. And then 2019, they swept Portland. So it's been an incredible run. Once the Warriors get here, they are especially tough to beat. So this is going to be a Warriors team that are going to be the significant favorites going up against a Mavs team that did have to go through an improbable run to get here. I mean, nobody really had the Mavs making it to the conference finals. I did dub them as a dark horse in the past, but did I really think they were going to beat the Suns, especially when they were down 2-0? No, I'm not going to lie. I did not see that happening. And you look at this matchup here, a lot of people want to talk about the success that the Mavericks have had against the Warriors, beating them in the regular season 3-1. But look at the Warriors, what they've done against teams in the playoffs who they did lose the regular season series to. They actually won 1-3 against the Nuggets in the regular season, and they won that series. They won 1-3 against the Grizzlies, and they just won that series. And guess what? They won 1-3 against the Mavs in the regular season. So does that mean the Warriors are going to win the series again? I think the Warriors take care of business here, guys. I really think the Warriors get back to the NBA Finals. I'm actually going to go Warriors in 5. I give the Mavs 1 game. I'm going Warriors in 5 at minus 220. Look, I get the buzz. I get the hype. It's a great underdog story. Truthfully, would I love to see the Mavericks upset the Warriors? Absolutely. Who doesn't want to root for a great underdog? But I'm not going to let my recency bias take away from what I ultimately see happening here. I really think the Warriors are going to clamp up on the Mavs. This is where Luca not having that secondary all-star, that secondary star is really going to hurt him. I mean, with all due respect to Spencer Dinwiddie, he was incredible in that series against the Suns. But I think this is where Luca is going to look himself in the mirror and say, I can't just do it on my own. I'm going to need help. I'm going to have hope. I'm going to need guys who are going to have to step up. And I think this is the series that really sells to the Mavs, that they got to go out and get Luca a bona fide Robin to his Batman. I think the Warriors have too many weapons. They're incredibly deep. They got a superstar in Steph. Klay Thompson emerged in Game 6, which is a scary sight. I mean, if that Klay Thompson can now carry on over to this series, look out. Draymond Green, that defense, they're well coached. They've been here before. I like the experience. I like their depth. I like their talent. They got guys who have done it before, and they have won in this exact same spot. So give me the Golden State Warriors. I do think the Mavs take a game, maybe even 2, but I'm going to say the game for the sake of my prediction. But I got Warriors in 5. So that means I got Warriors taking on the Celtics in what should be a very fun NBA Finals matchup if we do get it. It would pin the best defensive team going up against the best offensive team. And as far as that pick goes, you're just going to have to wait if we do get that matchup. But those are my picks to recap. I like the Celtics in 6 at -175, and I like the Warriors in 5 at -220. Those are the odds for the teams just to win the series. If you want to get extra creative with it, you can actually pick the team to win in the exact number of games that you see it happening for even better odds. But for me, I'm just going to go with the outright picks here of winning the series. But for the sake of my prediction, I gave you the team I see winning in how many games. So Celtics in 6, Warriors in 5. We'll see what happens. But that will conclude my picks for another great edition of Laying the Points with Luca Rosano, where we come to you every single Monday through Friday, and I give you some of the hottest topics in the world of sports, my picks, and much, much more. This is Luca Rosano signing off. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all again in the next one. Take care.